Hello, my dear friend. If you are a woman in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s, I want to speak to your heart today. You have lived through more changes, more challenges, and more quiet sacrifices than most people will ever understand. You have held families together. You have shown up, day after day, when no one else did. You have kept going, even when you were tired, even when you were hurting. But here's the truth. No one ever teaches us how to age. No one prepares us for this part of life, not just physically, but emotionally, spiritually. They do not talk about the quiet loneliness, the shifting roles, the invisible ways women begin to disappear in a world that once needed them so much. And so today, I want to offer something different. I want to share with you 12 heartfelt pieces of advice, not from a textbook, not from a magazine, but from life. From my experience, and from the stories of hundreds of women who have lived long enough to know what truly matters. This is not just about growing older. It is about growing wiser. It is about learning how to live with peace, with pride, and with joy, no matter what the world says about your age. So please, take a deep breath, settle in. This is your time, and I promise you, something you hear today may stay with you for the rest of your life. Let us begin. 1. You do not have to keep giving until you are empty. For so many years, you gave. You gave your time. You gave your strength. You gave your patience, your comfort, your energy. You gave so much of yourself that, at times, there was barely anything left. And perhaps you told yourself, that is just what mothers do. That is what women do. We carry others. But now, in this season of life, something must shift. Because you cannot keep pouring from an empty cup. You deserve space to rest. You deserve time that is yours and yours alone. You deserve to say, no, not today, without guilt or apology. You're not being selfish when you protect your energy. You're being wise. There is no medal for running yourself into the ground. There is no trophy for silent suffering. Giving should come from a place of fullness, not from obligation or habit. And you are allowed to take care of yourself first. That is not weakness. That is strength born from experience. Let your kindness include yourself now. Let your boundaries speak for the years you spent holding everyone else up. This is your time to reclaim your balance, to give only when you choose, and never because you feel you must. You're enough, even when you are resting. 2. Your home is your sanctuary. Guard it gently, but firmly. Over the years, your home has been more than just a place to sleep. It has been your shelter, your comfort, your quiet. Within its walls are memories only you can feel. Birthdays, quiet mornings, family meals, heartbreaks, laughter, and healing. And now, as you grow older, your home becomes something even more sacred. It is your ground. It is your anchor. So be careful with it. Be thoughtful. Do not let anyone rush you out of it. Not with kind words, not with promises, not even with love. Sometimes our own children, without meaning to, pressure us into letting go of something we are not ready to release. But your home holds more than furniture. It holds your independence, your ability to choose when to wake, what to eat, who enters your door. That is power, and it must not be surrendered lightly. If one day you choose to move, let it be your choice, not a reaction to someone else's convenience. There is no shame in holding on to what gives you peace. There is deep wisdom in protecting the place where you feel safe. You have opened your door for others your whole life. Now you're allowed to close it gently and stand in the stillness of your own space, knowing it is fully yours. 3. Silence is power. You do not need to explain yourself anymore. There comes a time in every woman's life when she grows tired of trying to justify her choices. When she realizes that peace is not found in convincing others, but in trusting herself. You have reached that time. You have earned it. You do not need to explain why you said no to that family gathering. You do not need to defend why you want to spend your day alone, or why you no longer want to babysit every weekend, or why you stopped returning certain phone calls. You owe no one an explanation for your boundaries. The beauty of aging is that you finally learn to walk away from situations that drain you without the need for drama or defense. You get to choose peace over pleasing. You get to say, "This is what works for me," and let that be the end of it. People who truly love you will understand. People who do not, never did. And that is not your burden to carry. Speak less, observe more. You will be amazed at how much clarity silence brings. Not every battle is yours to fight. Not every invitation is yours to accept. And not every opinion is yours to fix. There is deep, quiet power in choosing stillness, in letting your decisions stand without apology. 4. You are still a woman, not just a role, a title, or someone's past. It is easy to forget ourselves, to slip into roles that define us: mother, wife, grandmother, caretaker, widow. And while each of those may be true, none of them fully capture who you are. You are still a woman, a whole, living, feeling woman. You still have your own thoughts, your own dreams, your own voice. That part of you did not disappear when the children grew up, or when your partner passed, or when the world stopped asking what you wanted. You are not invisible. You have not expired. Do not let anyone tell you that joy is for the young or that beauty has an age limit. Do not shrink into the background. You still matter. You can still laugh until your stomach hurts. You can still fall in love, start something new, wear red lipstick, or dye your hair blue just because it makes you feel alive. You are not too old to grow. You are not too old to change. You're not too old to begin again. If you have been waiting for permission to reclaim yourself, this is it. Step out of the labels. Peel back the layers others placed on you. Return to the woman you were before the world told you who you had to be. She is still there, and she is waiting. 5. Stop trying to be useful. Start choosing to be joyful. For so many years, your value was measured by how much you could do for others. You raised children, supported a spouse, took care of aging parents, and probably managed a household with little appreciation and almost no rest. You were always on the move, making sure everyone was fed, clothed, safe, and supported. And even now, in your later years, people still expect you to give, to be available, to babysit, to answer the phone, to say yes, even when you are tired. But here is the truth. You do not need to prove your usefulness anymore. You have already given more than enough. You do not need to fill every hour with chores or favors just to feel worthy. Being busy is not the same as being valuable. You have a right to rest without guilt. You have earned the freedom to ask yourself, what brings me joy? Joy can look like small things: a walk in the park, a quiet morning with coffee, a spontaneous road trip, or learning something new just because you want to. It does not have to make sense to anyone else. Joy is not selfish, and it is not silly. It is fuel for your soul. It is your way of reconnecting to the part of yourself that was buried under responsibilities for decades. You do not have to explain why you want time to yourself. You do not need a reason to laugh, to dance, to sleep in, or to say, "I am unavailable today." Being alive is enough, and being joyful is a choice you deserve to make. Your life now should not be about proving that you still have something to offer. It should be about finally receiving the peace, happiness, and lightness that you have given to everyone else for so long. 6. Let go of the need to be needed. You are still worthy without it. There is a quiet sadness that often settles into a woman's heart as she grows older, not because she is lonely, but because she feels no longer needed. The phone rings less. The grandkids grow up. The children stop asking for advice. The daily rhythm of life changes. And suddenly, you find yourself with empty time and a strange ache in your chest. For decades, you were the one people turned to for everything. You knew what was for dinner, where the socks were, how to solve a family argument, how to hold someone through grief. You were the heartbeat of your home. And now that the world seems to move along just fine without your daily presence, it is easy to feel invisible. But let me say this clearly. Your value has never depended on how much other people needed you. You were never meant to be everyone's foundation forever. Your identity is not tied to your usefulness. You are worthy because of who you are, not what you do. This new season of your life is an invitation to step out of the shadow of responsibility and step into the light of self-connection. You do not need to fill every gap. You are not a solution waiting to be used. You're a woman with wisdom, depth, presence, and peace to offer, even in silence. Let go of the pressure to constantly help, fix, advise, or support. If someone calls, answer with love. But if they do not, know that you are still full of purpose. The stillness is not punishment. It is a gift. A space for you to rest in your own worth. Trust that the world does not forget people like you. Your spirit is felt even when you are not doing. You are not less because others no longer lean on you. You are more than ever, whole, wise, and deeply enough. 7. Do not live through your children. Let them go, and let yourself be free. As mothers and grandmothers, we love deeply. We love in ways that shape our lives. We watch over our children through their earliest days, and then carry them quietly in our hearts long after they have grown. Even when they have their own homes and families, a part of us still worries, still hopes, still aches when they hurt. That is love, and it is beautiful. But there is a difference between loving and living through them. Sometimes we stay too involved, not because we want control, but because we are afraid of what life looks like without that daily sense of purpose. We offer opinions they did not ask for. We wait for phone calls with too much expectation. We tie our happiness to their choices, to their success, to how often they include us. And when they disappoint us, as all children do at some point, we feel crushed. But hear me clearly. Your life does not end when your children's lives begin. You are still your own person. Their path is not your responsibility. Their mistakes are not yours to carry. And their approval is not required for you to live fully. Love them? Yes. Cheer for them. Be there when they truly need you. But let them go. You gave them roots. Now give them space. You do not need to manage them. You need to rediscover yourself. The more you release control, the more peace you will find. And you might even discover that your relationship with your children grows stronger when it is built on freedom, not expectation. You raised them to fly. Now let yourself soar too. 8. Visit, but do not move in. Stay close, but do not stay too long. There is a common saying that visitors, like fish, begin to smell after 3 days. It may sound harsh, but there is truth in it, even when it comes to staying with family. As we grow older, we often feel the pull to stay close to our children. It may come from a desire to help, to stay connected, or even from loneliness. But staying too long, or too often, in someone else's home, even your children's, can quietly create strain. You may not see it, but your presence changes their daily rhythm. The daughter-in-law may feel like she has to entertain. The grandchildren may alter their behavior. Your adult children may feel torn between care and discomfort. And you may start to feel unappreciated, or worse, unwanted. That is not how you deserve to feel. The truth is, Love grows best with just enough space. Closeness is beautiful, but only when it respects boundaries. You can visit, bring warmth, share stories, laugh over dinner, and then leave with grace before your presence becomes a burden. Do not wait until someone hints at it. Choose to keep your dignity and the relationship healthy by leaving on your own terms. When you respect the distance, you protect the love. Let your visits be something they look forward to, not something they endure. You are always welcome in their hearts, but you do not need to be in their house every weekend. Give them space to live their lives, and give yourself space to live yours. Your independence is still sacred. Honor it. 9. Do not let worry take away your sleep. Let tomorrow take care of itself. There is something about nighttime that makes our thoughts louder. When the world quiets down, your mind begins to spin. You start to think about your children, your health, your finances, things you said years ago, things you should have done differently. The weight of it all can keep you awake for hours. You stare at the ceiling, your heart heavy, wondering if you could have changed something, or if something bad might still happen. But here is the gentle truth. Worry does not solve tomorrow. It only steals today's peace. You have lived long enough to know that most of the things you lose sleep over end up being smaller than you feared, and even when hard times do come, you have faced them before. You're strong enough to handle them when they arrive, not before. There is a reason people say, let it go until morning. Sleep is sacred. It restores your body and clears your mind. You deserve a night of rest without guilt. If a problem cannot be solved at midnight, then let it wait. Breathe deeply. Light a candle. Pray, meditate, or simply whisper to yourself, "This is not mine to carry right now." You cannot control everything, and that is not a weakness. That is a part of being human. Let tomorrow take care of itself. Tonight, let yourself rest. You have done enough. You are enough. Let your mind be still, and your spirit be gentle with itself. 10. Do not worry about things that no longer belong to you. Let your children live their own lives. As mothers, we never stop caring. Even when our children grow into adults, even when they move far away, or start families of their own, a part of our heart is still wrapped around them. We want to protect them from mistakes. We want them to make smart choices. We want them to be happy, to be safe, to do things the right way. But sometimes, that worry becomes a quiet form of control. We call too often. We give advice they did not ask for. We try to guide their decisions, believing we are just helping. And when they do not follow our suggestions, we feel hurt, or rejected, or even angry. But here is the truth. Your children are no longer your responsibility. They are grown. They must learn through their own experiences, just like you once did. You cannot live their life for them. You cannot protect them from every hurt. And you should not try. Love does not mean hovering. Love means letting go, with trust. The more you try to manage their path, the more tension you create. But when you step back with grace, your relationship becomes healthier. You give them room to breathe, and you give yourself space to rest. Visit them with love. Check in with kindness. But hold your wisdom gently. Offer it only when asked. The more freedom you give, the more likely they are to come to you on their own. And if they do not, love them anyway. That is what mothers do best. 11. Do not push through pain. Listen to your body before it forces you to stop. When you were younger, you probably ignored the aches and pains. You pushed through headaches, backaches, and exhaustion because you had no choice. There were meals to cook, children to raise, jobs to keep. You told yourself to be strong, to keep moving, to deal with it later. But now, in this season of your life, that mindset no longer serves you. Your body is not something to fight against. It is something to honor. Pain is not weakness. It is a message, a signal that you need to rest, to slow down, to take care of yourself. And if you do not listen, your body will find a louder way to get your attention. You have nothing left to prove. You do not have to tough it out to be respected. When you feel tired, sit down. When something hurts, pay attention. When you need help, ask for it. Let go of the idea that aging is something to hide. You are not broken. You are wise. And wisdom means knowing when to stop. Go to your appointments. Take your medication. Sleep enough. Stretch, walk, drink water, and eat in a way that honors your health. You cannot afford to put your well-being last anymore. Your health is your freedom. Without it, everything becomes harder. With it, everything becomes possible. Taking care of yourself is not indulgent. It is necessary. You are not selfish for slowing down. You are smart. You are worthy of comfort. And most of all, you are allowed to rest. 12. Do not be so careful with money that you forget how to live. Spend it while you can still enjoy it. You were raised to save, to be frugal, to think about tomorrow. And that was wise. Back then, you knew what it meant to go without. You clipped coupons, skipped vacations, and made sure your children had everything they needed, even if it meant you had less. You learned to sacrifice, and that mindset became a habit. But now, you are in a different chapter. This is not the time to deny yourself simple joys. This is not the time to keep saving for someday that may never come. You deserve to enjoy what you have while you can still walk, taste, explore, and laugh. Do not leave your money sitting in a bank while you live small and quiet. Go have that dinner. Take that trip. Buy the new chair. Say yes to that concert or class or garden tool. You're not being reckless. You are being real. You cannot take it with you. And chances are your children want you to enjoy it too. You're not a burden when you spend on yourself. You're honoring your own life. You spent decades putting others first. Now you have permission to say, "This is for me." And when you do that, you model something powerful for the next generation. That women are allowed to enjoy the fruits of their labor. That life is not just about saving, it is about savoring. You have been careful. You have been wise. Now it is time to let go, just enough to feel joy in what you earned. Never too late to live fully. My dear friend, if you are still here listening, then I want you to pause for a moment and feel proud. Not just because you made it to the end of this message, but because you are still open, still growing, still allowing yourself to hear truth, even when it challenges old habits. That alone is something rare and beautiful. Most people stop listening as they grow older. They shut down, turn bitter, or hide in routine. But you are not one of them. You are brave enough to reflect, brave enough to change, brave enough to say, maybe the rest of my life could be different, softer, freer, more mine. Let me remind you again, you are not just a mother, or a grandmother, or a widow, or a helper. You are a whole woman. You carry decades of wisdom, of laughter, of heartbreak, of victories no one else even knows about. You do not need anyone's permission to live fully. You do not need to wait for someone to tell you that it is okay to rest, to dance, to spend, to say no, to say yes, to stop apologizing, to begin again. This is your time. You have nothing to prove. You have only to receive what you spent a lifetime giving away: love, care, respect, and joy. So take the walk, buy the flowers, tell the truth. Say I love you when you feel it. Say no when you mean it. Be soft, be strong, be messy, be real. Let your gray hair shine. Let your heart be light. Age is not something to fear. It is a gift. And you, exactly as you are today, are already enough. If this message touched you, I hope you will share it with another woman who might need it, a sister, a neighbor, a friend. And if you would like more wisdom, more gentle reminders, and more heart-centered conversations like this, I would be honored if you subscribed. You are never alone here. Until next time, stay kind to yourself, stay open, and above all, stay deeply, wonderfully you.